Right, let's get one thing out of the way, shall we? One of the things that, or some of the things that I get up to in my life for a very long time is to literally see, hear, feel, sense, and touch things that other people cannot. Strange, isn't it? For those people that cannot, it must be a bewildering world. People like myself, it's just the done thing, if you understand what I mean. It's a kind of like treading on eggshells when you're trying to get other people to understand. If they totally accept and wish they could do the kind of things that I get up to, it's a joint unison where you can try to edge them along and try to get them to gain more momentum so that they understand a lot more, and then maybe, hopefully, one day they too will start to become seers. And speaking of seers, that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. I'm trying to remember 3 occurrences whilst I've been in this area of strange happenings. Some of the things you hear, see, feel, they don't make sense at certain times, and you try to get your head round it, find a logic, a principle, an understanding. And this was one of those times until it kind of gained momentum. Coming back to the place, it kind of haunts you, if you understand what I mean. And you have to try to put the jigsaw pieces together as to what you're being influenced with. What is the story behind what you are seeing? And that's one of the reasons I've come back. I came back twice. But in some cases the weather up here can turn at the snap of a finger, and it becomes so cold and catch you unawares. So you have to be prepared if you want to stay long periods in one particular place and try to link with whatever energy is coming through. The first occurrence that happened was simply standing on the path. People that were with me were walking by and they took off in front, and I was adjusting something, doing nothing in particular, when suddenly the feeling of you standing on a table and someone being underneath, lying on their backs with their legs in the air and slamming their feet under the table, and you start to feel yourself being knocked upwards. You can feel it in the soles of your feet. Now when that kind of thing happens, you wonder what that's all about. And that's just what I did. I just simply carried on walking, and it happened a couple of times. And I explained to the people I was with what had just happened, but I was so busy doing what we had come to do, I ignored it then and I carried on. But in some cases, whenever the energy catches onto you, latches onto you, they don't let it go. They will keep sending their energy in whatever way they can to try to get your attention. And that's what happened here. Second time back in this place, simply standing around, the detail came to such an extent that it leaves you with a feeling of emotion, and you get to understand then if the energy is strong enough, what the hell all this is about. And in this case, it was a sad little boy, no higher than my chest. And speaking of a sad little boy, there's one just walking past the back of the car. Is there any significance in that? Similar type of age, perhaps, but there's a coincidence there, perhaps, because that's how things are in the world. And I'm just watching the little boy, and it's something that, as I said, took me by surprise, and I have to try to move forward with this and find out what it was all about, try to gain some more information, and maybe I will, maybe I won't, but the energy I know is around me. It's just kind of there. There's no momentum to get me going, other than to simply go to the exact spot, which is just a little bit further up this path, and try to see if I see something. Will I? Won't I? I don't know. I haven't done any meditation for quite a while, so I'll see. Well, just a matter of, let's see if it happens. But one of the things I wish I had was a map, because one of the informations I was given was the little boy showed me a straight line, thin, like a pencil line, coming from myself, going outwards. And what I have to do is to try to find a map, take myself to the spot, and then see where that line is directional to. And maybe it's a pointer, what you call a pointer, and then try to follow that line. But without a map, I cannot do that other than by sight, and simply walking in a straight line over the moorlands, you off the path, you can understand what's going to happen to your ankles with all these terrific bogs they have around here. So I'm going to try to stand in the spot where I got this information from and see if anything transpires. Hopefully it will, maybe it won't, who knows, we'll see. But it's a point of catching it when it appears. It kind of knocks you for a six sometimes, because of the sensitivity of this particular place. So what I'm going to do now is to head out to the spot, or try to find the exact place where I was, and see anything transpires. I'm not holding anything out. We'll just have to see, fingers crossed or not, whatever the case may be. And then I shall try to look at Google Maps and see if I can pinpoint this directional line that I was given. I don't expect you to be able to hear my narration or my chatting, because there is quite a strong breeze I'll have to get around to resolving that at some future date, and find a way of cutting it down whilst you're out walking. But I'm in the area, as I explained, as to not the exact spot, but the area. As I explained earlier, where I got one of the first happenings, and it's happened again. I'm being informed by spirit that it's called a trigger point. What I got was "I'll strangle you," and that was it. I shall have to try to just keep walking along and see if anything transpires other than that one momentary saying, and see if I'm influenced in any other way. I'd love to get to the bottom of this, but as I said, it's coming, or it is coming, like jigsaw pieces, and we'll see what happens when I go further up. But I'm afraid there's a bit of a strong wind today. Second thing, I've only gone a few yards and I'm getting a vision of a table, and I'm getting like kind of under the table or lower than the surface of the table, and that's ironic, because I was mentioning a table before, the similarity to standing on a table, and I wonder if the table is significant. I'll just have to see by putting all the pictures together. But again, this table has cropped up again, and I'm going to keep moving. I'm not in the exact spot just yet. See what happens. Next word I've got in my head as I'm walking along is the word depravity. Depraved, depravity. And I'm getting the understanding like superimposition or superimposed, a way of being. If you can understand, it's like born to kill, or born to do dastardly deeds. It's kind of as you can understand, it's kind of in the genetics of the individual that's born. Someone I can also identify that with was Jack the Ripper. Someone who just had to do this thing, and that's what I've got, this feeling that the individual or individuals that were connected to this child were kind of carrying out this terrible deed for kicks. And I'm seeing, it's ironic, for kicks, I say for kicks, and I'm suddenly seeing a football. That's the way it works when you're communicating with spirit. They give you things to work on and to get your brain warmed up. So I've got this feeling that this poor child was killed for kicks, which is terrible. I do not like the innocent suffering at all. I don't like children hurting. It's like I want to say to God or to whoever, why? Because they have not done anything wrong. Why should they suffer this way? But I do understand that that's the way the world works. So now I understand that this child has a reference to a table, and also has a reference to the people or person or persons that took part in this horrible deed, killed for kicks. It's not an accidental thing. I'm getting there's a little girl involved in it. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to keep moving. I'm feeling sick. one of the next things I'm getting is trickery, an act of, and some of the other things I'm not quite got my act together on this particular thing. I'm getting like disproportionate a measure, something to do with measure. It's like you try to influence someone in order to. I'm getting like a salesman. If you can understand a salesman, you know, the door-to-door salesman who just won't go away. I've got that kind of feeling. The push, and I'm led to believe that this child, there's more than one child, but I'm getting it's like the perpetrators of this horrible deed were pushing. I'm being given like sweets, like you try to draw someone who's young in order to gain a kind of a respect or trust. That's it's false. I'm getting like it's meaningless, if you understand what I mean. They didn't do it through generosity. Generosity is zero. Now I've got to keep moving because the wind is strong and chilly, so we'll see what transpires. Now the words I'm getting are the next step takes me to the situation. And I'm also being given like water under the bridge. I have to, and I'm also being told, be respectful. So I can understand what that particular meaning is all about. Which I have to admit, yes, I am respectful. It's where I'm like being shown. It's like you're treading on eggshells. Be careful. I'm also being shown an apple cart tipping up. So I have to be respectful, and I will obviously be that way. I've got to go down a slope here, so I'm turning off. What I'm getting now is that this is a point of reference. It's the marketplace. It's not the particular point of any happening or the happening, and I'm led to understand that it is to lead you to the particular thing you're trying to find. So I get this understanding where I'm simply being brought here to feed the information. I can't, to relax. It's to relax myself. Because as you can expect, this is not a thing to relax over.